morning stars shine.
Welcome to the real world. Whoa!
Mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with
Breathe air.
there's no second best, okay?
GM. Right, today is Tuesday. Checking in on my two trades that are open, which are Sui and Ondo shorts. So Sui it was originally a half 0.5 hour, and it's now, when the stop loss originally was at 4.11. Now it's, I think it's about 0.35, because I moved the stop down whenever price went lower. I haven't added to it yet, so it still remains as 0.35 hour if it loses. And what I want to see here is, like I mentioned on daily levels, are these bearish retests, or is this the beginning of an extended rally? And I think we'll see pretty soon, because here's the retest of the daily bands. And so first of all, I'll be waiting for at least a daily close and see where this ends up shaking out. Does it find resistance at this point here, or does it continue higher towards where the lowered stop would be? As for Ondo, same thing. So Ondo is a full 1 hour with, there's the two entries you can see. The the previous all-time high, which is from June of last year, has been tested twice and is held as resistance. So that's why my stop for this part of the trade is above those two levels there. So it's right around 1.51. And again, same thing. Seeing, is this a bullish setup? Is the market actually going to rally higher and stay higher? I don't think so. I do think this is a corrective phase, and eventually will go lower. But a lot of it depends on BTC, because Bitcoin right here, which is up at resistance, right, it's running into this resistance around 98, exactly where it should run into resistance before the 100 level, 98, 99. But if Bitcoin can break clearly above 100 and move towards 102, 104 or whatever, that's obviously going to allow these alts to have continuation. So I'd imagine if Bitcoin breaks 100, both of these trades will probably stop out, and we'll have to see then, is this the beginning of a new rally, beginning of a new trend, or is it just a continuation of the chop that we're in? So really, there's not a huge amount to say or do. Ondo just consolidating. Sui is bouncing after a further lower low, so making lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. It's trying to get back to this structure level and break above it. Bands are still red. Price is still obviously bearish. Consolidation after the first sell-off is still in effect. So waiting to see, basically, do we get something more like this that we had here, which is just a retest of the bands before lower? Are we seeing that? Or are we seeing a shift? Are we seeing price start to slowly build its way back up into a new uptrend? I will just let the market decide. We'll see. So for now, both positions remain the same. I haven't touched them since obviously any of the changes that were made. And I'm bullish and looking to get long BTC from a trade basis, but was looking for that move down first. Was not expecting really, but hoping for Bitcoin to dip down into the lower area where we had this liquidity resting from the prior Monday, before having this move where it sort of bounces around in between the 50 and the 100 EMAs, which you can see here, which we're still in, and that is our current resistance. We've got this 50 EMA as resistance. That's clearly not trend support, right? So it did hold, it held, but it did not produce a new high. It had to dip down below it to produce a failed break of the highs. Then it came back and the 50 didn't hold. Back to the 100, which held, but only got us to the 50 again. So we're just stuck sort of ping pong around in this area. And we'll see what BTC can do. My expectation is that I do think we go lower from here. And, back towards just the 93, 90 to 100 as a range. Today, I think we've got Powell speaking. He will speak, not about Bitcoin obviously, but he will speak about the overall path of monetary policy. And so it depends what he says about, the Fed's plans, and that's today and tomorrow. So there's potential for headlines there. We've got CPI, the inflation numbers tomorrow. We've got PPI, more inflation numbers on Thursday. And then retail sales Friday. So big week of economic data plus Powell speaking. So definitely headline risk, both bullish and bearish depending on what they say. You could see some market moving events, but really overall, I think it's just same as before, continued chop. And if Bitcoin does reject here and starts to move back towards the weekly open was right around here, which is 96.4, back towards the weekly open, or towards the Sunday lows, because weekend lows tend to not be strong. So when you set a low on a weekend, it tends to not be the strongest, tend to get swept. So I do think that there's potential here for a reversal. You've got the 4-hour bands as well. They've flipped back to bearish. We're now retesting them. So we're in this consolidation. That's all it is really. And if it's consolidation and chop and Bitcoin starts to drop lower for retests, I expect those alts to roll over and bleed down as well. So really not a huge amount to say other than that. That's where we're at currently. So we'll see how it goes. GM. I'm going to go and get back on the slopes. See you all later. Today we'll do another Ask Michael AMA at 5 p.m. UTC, regular time. Won't be the market deep dive today. We'll take a week off from that because I haven't been deep diving. I've been skiing instead. And so the cycles analysis, that will return next Tuesday back onto the regular schedule. So today we'll have the AMA. I'll open up the channel an hour before. Any questions, take them live. You know the deal. See you then, 5 p.m. GM.